Hello everybody, this is Appa Brian from Appa Baseball Classics, and I thought I'd do a short little quick video on some of my baseball books I use for the information beginning of the games, and some of my baseball card collection, which is limited. But I did have a request about a week ago or two if I could show how I do baseball cards, and be happy to. All right, what I use most of all for information comes out of these books, primarily the Biographical Encyclopedia of Baseball from the editors of Total Baseball. I used to have the Total Baseball Encyclopedia many years ago, but this is the biographical edition that came out, and I get a lot of my information. It has stories on all the major stars and many of the minor stars. It doesn't have everybody, but it does have a lot of the players that I use in Appa Baseball Classics. Next to that is the new Bill James Historical Baseball Abstract. It's not the latest edition, but I don't often play the latest teams. But I use his edition. I like his writings. I like his style of writing, and I think he's really a brilliant guy. And I do rely quite a bit on what he has to say. Image of Their Greatness is a fun book that has lots of stories of dead ball era, mostly. It goes up farther than dead ball, quite a bit farther, but that's kind of what I like. And that's by Lawrence Ritter and Donald Honig. The Armchair Reader of Baseball, I get some info out of that. And then I use these books, the baseball cards of the 50s, sometimes for pictures of baseball cards, because everybody is there. And same thing for classic baseball cards. You get pictures of all the old-time players, and it has all of them. This will be the T206 set. And I like to see when I play an old-time team, say I pick up the 06 White Sox, I like to see what the players look like. There's no biographical information in these two books, but you can at least see what they look like. Another source of biographical information is the Conlon set of baseball cards. The backs of these are fantastic as far as biography and trivia. And those are the baseball cards I kind of like the most. These cards came out in 1993, and there's a ton of them. So I get lots of information from there. And another source of information, I like these Action Pack set, which also came out around 93. Okay, it came out in 1992, but they give you all the stats at the top, but all their career highlights kind of summed up on the back. This is Virgil Trucks. So I like these for information as well, the Action Pack cards. Sam McDowell, one of my all-time favorite pitchers, Sudden Sam. But when I'm playing a game, I can kind of look at the back of this and tell you about one hitter he fired against the Kansas City A's in 1965. He was very hard on the A's. I do remember that. Sudden Sam McDowell. Here is Don Newcomb. Just love all the stats on the back. A little more about this book here, Heroes of the Negro Leagues. You get a terrific painting of all the stars. Papa Bell, Chet Brewer, Roy Campanella, the Baltimore Elite Giants. Is that Elite or Elite Giants? Probably Elite. Bill White, same team. Larry Doby, the Newark Eagles. And you get a page of biography, and these are well written and full of anecdotes. A lot of these guys had pretty sad stories. Some of them were happy and had good lives, but others, Josh Gibson, I think it was a sad story. Okay, this is the studio where I roll my games. The table came from Union Station in Kansas City, where my dad worked for 40 years. Found those. A restaurant was selling them, actually, and these were in the Harvey House restaurant, these tables. So I picked it up, got it for about $40. Like that table quite a bit. But anyway, this is where I roll the games of APBA Classics. Below is where I store most of the baseball cards that I use. And in these, also the teams. This side is the storage of my baseball cards with my APBA teams. I try to keep 3 of the best players from each team all the way back, to the 40s. But they're most of the old cards, of course, are reprints. I'm not a per se baseball card collector, but I'll put with my APBA teams, 6 or 7 of the best players with their APBA team. I don't store my cards in the APBA envelopes, but they're all in order from newest to the oldest teams. Here's Ichiro and the '01 Mariners. Most of these teams are playing in the all-time greats tournament. Well, not most of them. I've got about 250 teams, and there's 64 teams in the tournament, but a lot of the teams are in that tournament. Here's the Blue Jays from 1993. Orioles from 1969. Hope that's in focus. And down here we have just some miscellaneous cards. On this side, I keep, this is where I keep 3 from each team. This is the 2019 set. So I have Topps Heritage cards. And these are American League. These are my National League teams. And let's see. This goes down to 1962, 63. Over here is where I keep my helmets. I use my helmets. I haven't been using those lately. And I keep my discs, base runners, are stored in here. So that's, I keep at least 3 base runners and 1 to stick up on the scoreboard. Here's Boston's disc that would stick on the scoreboard, and a few base runners. Might use these when they're on the road or an older team, and these for more modern teams. Kansas City A's. Some of these I made. A Dodger set I made. These White Sox Angel sets I made. 1940s, late 30s Chicago White Sox, had to make those. Chicago American Giants, all the Negro League teams I had to make. And then most of the Negro League teams are in this box here. Eagles, St. Louis Stars, a couple sets of those, Pittsburgh Crawfords, Cleveland Buckeyes. It's not Birmingham Black Barons. Baltimore. That's Baltimore. Here's the Black Barons. These came from, a lot of these came from the Ted Williams card set, published in 1993, I think, and 94. And the others I got off eBay, and then some I made. This is the book I usually use. It's the 2012 APBA baseball book. Or if I use the Merino boards, these are the Merino boards here. And I don't generally like to add the numbers every time somebody gets a hit. I think that's kind of hard to do, broadcast that way. But once in a while I do it. And then I have letters up here for basic, A, B, or AC, or A. They're every 5, starting with 3. So you got D pictures, you got your C pictures on 8th column, B pictures on 13, A on 18 column. So that's my Merino boards. Now, before I close, the next series of games that will start hopefully on Monday will not be the 1998 or 97 Florida Marlins, because I don't actually own the Marlins team. I thought I did, but I don't. What I have for the Marlins is a team set that I copied off of Steve's copy deck. I don't want to use those on the channel, and plus they're kind of hard to read. They're smaller, and the printing kind of turned out a little blurred. So I don't want to use that team. I ordered the proper team set off eBay, or not eBay, but off of appagames.com Friday. So they'll come in a few days, and then we'll do the 1998 series with the 1997 Florida Marlins. The series that I will start on Monday will be, and that's a lot of glare from the window being open, but it'll be the 1984 Detroit Tigers hosting the 1957 Milwaukee Braves. So that will start Monday, best of 3 series, game 64 on the All-Time Greats tournament. Okay, thanks for spending a little time with me. These are my dice, by the way. Back here I got all sorts of colors for the different teams that play, and then I've got all sorts of dice in my baseball glove that shows up every now and then. That's full with a variety of dice. So anyway, thanks for spending some time with me, and that's my baseball card collection and some of the books I use. I do use online sources, SABR. I'm a member of the Society of American Baseball Research, or at least I'm dues paying. I'm not somebody who contributes and writes articles and so forth. But I do get some good information from them. I've used Wikipedia sometimes. Sometimes that information is not accurate. It's questionable at best. Sometimes it's good. Usually it's good. But that's what I do online as far as getting the information. I know a lot of things, but I'm getting about the players in the APBA Classic games. But I'm getting older and I forget things and don't remember details like I used to. Anyway, thanks for joining me. And join me Monday for the next exciting series of the All-Time Greats Tournament, APBA Classics Baseball. Good day and God bless.